right, a very good morning to you, and of course, welcome to Sports Fiesta here on KU92.7 FM. On the show this Friday morning, Brazil legend Pele has left hospital after surgery. Daniel Sturridge has signed with Perth Glory of Australia, and we can tell you that for the different federation elections that we told you about yesterday, it has of course come now. We now know some of the presidents. Hopefully, we shall get you those persons that were re-elected and also elected as presidents for the different federations. Someone like Sam Ocheho was re-elected as president of the Handball Federation of Nigeria, while Nimrod also got re-elected as president of the Volleyball Federation of Nigeria. Daniel Igali, we hear, has also been re-elected as president of his own federation. So we definitely be getting you how things went for the different federations that conducted their elections yesterday. That's a bit of matter, we should say, a bit of issue with the Nigerian Basketball Federation. But some people are not agreeing to the format of the election. Some persons are saying use the current constitution, use the former one, and then the rest. Hopefully in the coming days. In fact, they've been given, I think, a 21-day ultimatum to ensure that they conduct their own election into the federation, which is the Nigerian Basketball Federation. This morning, we'll also speak about the Betsy Obaseki Women's Tournament currently ongoing here in Edo State, Benin City to be precise. As we saw some matches yesterday for the wrap-up of the group phase of the competition. We'll let you know those teams that are qualified to the semi-final stage of the Betsy Obaseki Cup. Well, as well yesterday, we saw fixtures coming from the UEFA Europa League, and that's of the Europa Conference League. Victor Osimhen reigned supreme for himself, but then Napoli lost their game. We'll be looking at the results from that one, and of course the UEFA Europa Conference League. So these are many more sports stories which I'll get you only if you stick to Sports Fiesta. I am CJ, the Maestro, Sali Ibrahim, the Sports Ibrahim, and of course El Saibeka, the Sports Maestro, are here with me on the show. Good morning, guys, and welcome to Sports Fiesta. Okay, let's kick off. Let's go talk about the Betsy Obaseki Women Football Tournament still ongoing here in Edo State. We understand that the teams who qualified, at least some of them qualified to the semi-final phase of the competition yesterday. So, Ibrahim, let me start from you. Talk us through the teams that are through to the next phase of the competition, and of course, what transpired yesterday for the last group stage matches of the Betsy Obaseki Cup.
Well, we were at the University of Benin Sports Complex to watch some of those games, and of course, one that we saw was Edo Queens taking on Heartland Queens, and Edo Queens played their best football of the tournament by beating Heartland Queens 5-0. So that means that they topped Group A, and they will be playing against the winners of Group B. That is Rivers Angels, which promises to be a tasty encounter, and that match is coming up tomorrow. And earlier in that same venue, we saw Rivers Angels. They came from behind on 2 occasions to beat FC Robo Queens 3-2. But of course, that meant that they now top their group, and that means that they'll be playing against Edo Queens in the semi-final. And of course, we saw beautiful football being displayed at the Samuel Ogumunda Sports Complex and also at the different venues. So far, it's been a fantastic competition, and we hear that the prize money has been increased. It was supposed to be 3 million for the winner, but now it's going to be 5 million. It was supposed to be 2 million for the second place team. Now it has been increased to 3 million, and then the third place team is going to get 2 million, and even the team that finishes 4th is going to get 1 million. And all the other teams, every team that participated in the competition got 500,000 naira as consolation prizes. So all of them, many of them have now left. They've been given their consolation prizes yesterday, so they will be heading to their different destinations. So the 4 teams that are in the semi-finals, of course, Edo Queens, Rivers Angels, Bayelsa Queens of Yenagoa, and FC Robo Queens. So it's going to be Bayelsa Queens versus FC Robo Queens in the other semi-final. Bayelsa Queens, they were able to top Group C. So that means that they will be playing against the team that finished second, which is FC Robo Queens. And altogether, I think it's going to be a fantastic semi-final. All 4 teams in the Nigerian Women Football League. So definitely showing their class. Bayelsa Queens, they are the IT Cup holders. Rivers Angels are the reigning champions of the Nigerian Women Football League. And then, we've been saying that Edo Queens should also be competing favorably with these teams, given the investments that the government has made in the club and what have you. And we were not happy with what happened at the Super 6 last time out, but this time they have been able to get to the semi-final. But it's not. They should go further. Apart from the additional motivation of you win the competition, you get 5 million. You are playing at home, so you definitely be getting the support and everything. Although as Edo people, we know that we are very hospitable. As I mentioned during the National Sports Festival, there was a match I went to watch at the Western Boys High School, and it was Team Edo, even though the deputy governor was playing for the team, and Team FCT, they were playing at Western Boys, and the home fans were supporting Team FCT, and I was like, hey, if they are playing against your team, they said, bros, no matter, now good football we want, we are one Nigeria, and that really resonates, especially today that's Nigeria's independence anniversary. So it doesn't really matter. And you had when we spoke with the wife of the Deputy Governor, Marianne Philip Shaibu, yesterday, and she was asked about Edo Queens, and she said, yeah, fantastic. I predicted that they were going to win 6-0. At that point, it was 4-0, and that more goals would come. But even as she was supporting her team, she also said, no, it's not just about Edo Queens. It's about women's football in Nigeria. All the clubs, we also support them. So they know that they are going to get that support. So it's great. And you look at the teams where they come from. It's just one team that is outside the South-South. Bayelsa Queens are in the South-South. Rivers Angels South-South. Edo Queens in the South-South. It's just FC Robo Queens that are from the southwest of the country. And then we know that we've got so many players that are also from the South-South. The owner of the club, the coach of the club is from the South-South.
Absolutely. So if you want
so football in Nigeria is South-South.
Absolutely.
So it is a fantastic, and I'm looking forward to all the wonderful times that we'll be having. And it was announced yesterday at the venue that at the University of Benin Sports Complex that there will be vehicles to convey people to the final from Ogbowo.
And then bring you back.
Yes, they will take you to the...
if you're a student, maybe you school at Univen, you can go there, be a bus, and then they'll bring you back
that will convey spectators to the stadium. And apart from that, there will also be refreshments. They're going to give them food and drinks in the buses and also at the stadium, and they will also take them back to the
that's massive
to Bo. That's
enjoy free ride and everything.
You don't see that even in national,
even in the NPFL. Nobody does that for you.
You don't do that. You don't see that. So it's awesome. And as we mentioned yesterday, you're having a competition, and it's private sector driven, and prize money is 5 million for the winner. And as we analyzed it yesterday, we are looking at 15 million. That's what they are spending. And that's just for the teams, for the participating teams. The 12 teams that are here. Winner gets 5 million. Second place gets 3 million. Third gets 2 million. The fourth place gets 1 million. And all other clubs get 500,000. Appearance fee 500,000. So and as one of my colleagues, when we got there, I was like, wow, this competition is really big. You have clubs coming all over. Some of them said, man, you have 500,000 for women's football. Which club will not come? All clubs will come if they get that invitation. And no, it goes to confirm what we have, what we know, and what we've had, especially from Coach Osahan Orobosa, who said, look, men's football all over the world is just developmental. There is no money. So when you have the private sector now bringing in money to this thing, it really encourages women's football in the country. So fantastic. It's what the organizers of the Betsy Obaseki Women's Football Tournament have been able to do, and we are looking forward to the current semi-finals and then what promises to be a super final.
Absolutely. We're going to see a couple of features in the semi-final that should even be final fixture. Where that there'll be a third place match, so that should also be something that I would look out for. Okay, let's talk about the table, because in as much as we know the teams that have qualified to the semi-final stage of the competition, it's also good when you tell those who are listening that this place is where your teams are finished. Okay, let's start from Group A, Elsa.
Before we look at the table, I think also we need to look at how Edo Queens will ensure that they become champions of the tournament, because what we saw yesterday was a one-sided game. It was a 5-0 route of over Atlanta Queens. I watched the match clearly, and the kind of substitutions that Coach Matthew Waymo made in the second half, and that added more goals because it started early. The goals started raining early, and that unsettled the Atlanta Queens. At some point, their goalkeeper, first choice, had to pull her shoulder, and she was replaced. But that did not stop Edo Queens from giving more, in that game. Especially to me, the player of that match yesterday, I think Suliat Abidemi, number 22 jersey, cool, calm, and calculated. Every touch she made yesterday.
You can also call
Abidemi, fantastic player. Abidemi, she was so cool on the ball, and even when she was substituted, you need to see how everyone stood up to applaud her. Then the fantastic goal scorer, I think the goal that put the icing on the cake, Essien rather, she came on in the second half as well. The way she used her chest to control the pass, which divided the defenders, and she just hit that shot. Come on, I think if players like Ronaldo and Messi, scored those kind of goals, they make headlines all over the whole televisions and radio stations. But then what she did yesterday, well, we asked the coach what she would do against Rivers Angels, because Rivers would not be like Atlant yesterday. We saw how they were falling up, falling down here and there. But Rivers, you saw what they did. Comeback resilience. So it's going to be a tough one. But all the same, I think it was a nice match yesterday. But let's watch out for the remaining 2 games, because 2 matches from now they'll be crowned champions. Talking about Edo Queens. So the coach said she's confident that they will be crowned champions, and they are hoping on God. So good matches were played yesterday. I think we are really, really impressed.
All right, so let's see how the teams finished in Group A. Edo Queens finished top of the group.
Yeah, Edo Queens had 9 points. Yeah, they won all their matches. They scored 11 goals and considered that just 1. So goal difference 10. That's really, really impressive. I think that's the best goal ratio in this competition. Then you have Heartland finished second. They started well, but they just did not work for them. They eventually finished with 4 points, and they scored 1 goal, but considered 5. That's the 5 they considered against Edo Queens. Raleigh Angels, they played 2 matches. They lost both of them, and they considered 5 goals, and their goal difference is -4. Nigeria Tels, I'm surprised that they finished bottom of this group, because the way I saw them when they played against Edo Queens, I thought they were very good, but they drew 1 match and lost 1, and their goal for them was 1, and goals against them 3. Their goal difference is -1. So for Group B, we had Rivers Angels, top of that group. They got 9 points. They were able to score 10 goals, and they considered 2, so goal difference is 8. FC Rubber Queens finished second in Group B, so they emerged as the best second place team. I know we were analyzing this before, and we said the best second place is likely to come from Group B, because of what Rivers Angels and FC Rubber Queens were doing. So they played 3 matches. They won 2 and lost 1. Points 6, goals for them 12, goals against them 3, and the goal difference is 9. So that's why I said that Edo Queens, they scored more goals than Edo Queens, but when you consider the goals that they conceded, then their goal difference is 9. Edo Queens has the best goal difference of
that's what is key for you in the competition of this magnitude. You've got to study the theatrics, so you understand the complexion of what you're having. If you're scoring more goals, or if you're just having the head-to-head, this occasion it's about the number of goals that Sunshine Queens considered that didn't help them out.
Yeah, so for Royal Queens, they played 3 matches and they drew 1 and lost 2. So their goal difference is -8. They did not score any goal and they conceded 8. For Fortress ladies, this Wale Opatola's team. Advisor, what's happening to your girls? They played 3 matches. They did not win any.
Yeah.
They drew 1, lost 2, and then they got their goals against them was 9.
Yeah.
They did not score any, so their goal difference is -9. Then we go to group. Okay, that's the. Yeah, this is on Group B. So we go to Group C. In Group C, this is where we had Bayelsa Queens, and they were able to top their group. So I'm trying to get that of the Bayelsa Queens group, but
they finished on 7 points.
Yeah.
After 3 matches, we also have Sunshine Queens here.
But Bayelsa Queens had 7 points. Their goal difference is 9. They scored 9 goals and conceded none. Sunshine Queens finished second. They won 2 matches. They lost 1. Points 6, goals for them 3, goals against them 3. So their goal difference is 0. For Confluence Queens, they were third in this group. Played 3 matches, won 1, drew 1, and lost 1. So their points is 4. They scored 6 goals and considered. They scored 1 goal and considered 6 goals against them -5. For Cardinal Queens, I don't know, maybe because of the came late and everything, but it was just horrible. They played 3 matches. They lost all 3. No points. Goals for them 1. Goals against them 14. So goal difference -13.
It's unfair.
Yeah, that's what happened to them.
All right, this is Sports Fiesta here on K92.7 FM. Let's go for a break here. When we come back, we'll of course look at the election that took place yesterday at the Masjid Abiola National Stadium in Abuja, where we saw the different federations have their president that would pilot their affairs for the next 4 years. After this break, we'll come back to, of course, look at those that emerged presidents and, of course, vice presidents of the different federations in sports here in Nigeria.
Do you know that following people without their consent is stalking and it's an offense? Don't be an offender. We give our consent for you to follow us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook at KUFM Nigeria, on Instagram at KUFM Nigeria, on Twitter at KUFM Nigeria. Check out the latest pictures and videos and catch breaking news, entertainment gist, trending issues and happenings on social media by following us at KUFM Nigeria across the various platforms. KUFM, turn on excitement.
We've had many battles, we have won some wars, but in all our struggles, we have lost loved ones. It may be cloudy outside, but not for very long. We will surely see the sun, 'cause we know no matter the weather, no matter the tide, we go there together. We stand by your side. No yawa, no problem. Go feet stand to fight us. We go stand together. We go beat them down.
Milo! Yes!
Tell me first, why do I give you Milo every morning?
Because every day I play like a baller, I run like a sprinter, and learn like a scholar, so I need all the energy I can get.
You see?
I see very well.
Give your kids winning energy. Milo Active Go, with the goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa, helps them make the most of every day. Milo, the energy to go further.
Wow, detergent can come again. Wow. You they wash plenty and you they say wow. You fit to win a millions. As you they wash with, wow. Jump 50K every day. Wow. If you not time to take calculate. Wow. Million naira full of ground. If you want to know how, just check the pack. Wow. Get your own car though when you wash with wow. Detergent, you they wash million naira back at time. Wow, detergent promo.
This promo will end for the 25th of October 2021.
Honey?
Yes, dear.
I'm tired of the poor power situation. Every time I stock the fridge, I come back to spoiled food. I think it's about time we go solar.
How?
With Vertical Solar, we can have all our appliances and electronics powered by solar, and they allow us to pay small. We can pay installmentally with as low as 36,000 naira monthly, spread across 12 months.
Tell me more.
I know you like the idea of paying small. Vertical Solar range of products can power all household devices, including air conditioners and water pumps.
What are the benefits of solar power?
We are talking uninterrupted power supply, no monthly electricity bill, no more spending on generator, and no more generator noise.
I see. But how can I locate Vertical Solar?
Head now to 28 Country Home Metal Road off Ajib Junction, Sapler Road, Benin City, or Blossom Mall beside Stop to Shop stores, DBS Road, Asaba. Or you can call them on 0816-170-1105 or 0703-623-4843. You can also send them an email on info@verticalsolar.com.ng.
Vertical Solar, your lifetime power partners.
If you just tuned in, this is Sports Fiesta here on K92.7 FM. I am CJ, the Maestro of God, Salih Ibrahim, the Sports Ibakaraba here with me, as well as Elsa Ibika, who is making a return on the show this Friday morning. Okay, we did promise you to talk about the federation elections that took place yesterday in Abuja. We understand that former Director of Grassroots Sports Development at the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, talking about Ademola Are, he has emerged president of the Nigerian Rugby Football Federation. He actually came out unopposed yesterday. Are, who contested with no opponents, won 10 votes from the 11 accredited voters at the National Sports Federation elections. Like I told you, it's at the Morshed Abiola National Stadium in Abuja. We can also inform you that in boxing, Kenneth Minima defeated former Vice President Joseph Aini, 8 votes to 5 to be re-elected as president of the Nigerian Boxing Federation. We also know that Azania Omo Agege emerged vice president of the federation after narrowly defeating Uche Notofo 7 votes to 6. Sada Sagara, a former deputy governor of Nasarawa State, was also re-elected as president of the Karate Federation of Nigeria. Agara returned unopposed, and he cooked 8 votes to emerge winner in the election yesterday. We can also inform you that in judo, Musa Oshodi, a former vice president of the Nigerian Judo Federation, was elected as president. An unopposed Oshodi polled 12 votes to win the election. Simon Nkom emerged as president of the Nigerian Hockey Federation. He was voted unopposed, and he polled the maximum 11 votes to emerge a winner. Domenico Masari, the immediate past president of the Cycling Federation of Nigeria, was yesterday as well in Abuja elected or re-elected unopposed. Incumbent presidents, talking about Samuel Ochiho, he has been re-elected as the president of the Handball Federation of Nigeria. He defeated challenger Jubril Saidu 7 votes to 6 to retain his office for another 4 years. Ochiho first held the federation in June 2017 when he emerged as president of the Handball Federation of Nigeria. While Dr. Ibrahim Abdul, he has also emerged president Weightlifting Federation of Nigeria. While Dr. Ibrahim qualified to compete for the apex position of the federation after he came top at the zonal election of the North Central conducted last week. Elsewhere, Engineer Musa Nimrod has been re-elected as the president of the Nigerian Volleyball Federation, NVBF, in that election yesterday. Earlier in the year, Nimrod was voted as the Secretary General of the African Volleyball Confederation Zone 3. In the election conducted in Abuja yesterday, Nimrod secured 11 out of the 14 votes cast to come out tops here. While for the Nigerian Wrestling Federation, Daniel Igali also emerged as the president of the Nigerian Wrestling Federation after he came out victorious. We can tell you that Igali is the present caretaker committee chairman of the Nigerian Wrestling Federation after the board was dissolved by the sports ministry. The sports ministry has, of course, bring him back in to say, look, handle this on interim capacity. Okay, Ibrahim, we spoke about this yesterday, and well, for the elections, some of them, we will now know those persons who would be heading the different sports federations here in Nigeria for the next 4 years. We said that it was key they picked the right people so that at least don't suffer. So the development of those different federations in terms of sports would continue. Now we know some of them. We can now put a face to the different positions. There's a bit of an issue for that of the Nigerian Basketball Federation. We're also hoping it to be resolved as soon as possible.
Yeah. It's good that we're having all of this, these guys emerging. I hope that there will be no court cases challenging the election, because when you do that, you make it difficult for them to run the affairs of the federation, and it is ultimately the athletes who will suffer, and Nigerians will also suffer as a consequence, because you keep getting heartbreaks at international competitions, as we saw in some cases during the Olympic Games. So you need these federations to be strong. You need the administration of sports to be top-notch at all levels before you even get to the Federal Ministry of Sport, which is basically supposed to be just supervisory. But the real work should be done by this individual sports federation. I'm not happy that basketball, it seems every time we are having these issues, athletics too sometimes. Thank God football for some years now has been relatively stable, but we know how the kind of problems that we had in the past with football, when we even had mobile policemen or DSS agents taking over the headquarters of the Nigeria Football Federation, which was embarrassing internationally, and it took a threat of FIFA ban to get some of these people out of that place. So you don't want to see that in your sports administration, and we just hope that they get it right. But if you get it right at this most important stage, every other thing will flow naturally. If you have a sports federation president who knows what he's doing, and he can work very well with the athletes that are in that sports, then you see that things will just develop naturally, and we will excel in international competition. Basketball is doing very well. The Tigers just won the Afro-Basket for the third consecutive time. We did a tripit. The Tigers, well, they didn't win it, but we have seen in recent times that we now have a team that can compete favorably. For God's sake, we beat the United States of America in the build-up to the Olympic Games. So we have the potential to do excellently well in basketball. As the Tigers are showing, we can actually do it. So if we imagine what happens when we get our administration right. If there is no issue, there is no faction, people are not complaining about anything, they are just united and everybody works together for the good of the game. Imagine what we will achieve if, despite the problems that we're having, the Tigers are doing what they are doing. The Tigers are also as recently as a few months ago, the Tigers were ranked, I think, 4th in the world in terms of the power rankings. When it comes to, because we were able to beat the United States and we beat some other world powers in basketball. So imagine what happens when everything is the way it should be, when there is no distraction, there is no faction, you don't have an issue from this one saying, oh, I am the legitimate board and the other guys are not, So it's sad when you have all of those distractions, but I am hopeful that with what's going on, last year's Sports Federation election, was far worse. There were different things that we
the one that was conducted under the former minister.
Yes, the last time we had that.
It was worse than this.
They were fighting.
Yeah.
There were so many did not even they didn't conclude, or you had parallel elections holding in different places. But at least to this one, it's just mainly basketball that we're hearing some shenanigans. So we just hope that everything is resolved eventually.
All right, on the foreign football scene, let's inform you that England coach Gareth Southgate has recalled defender Fikayo Tomori, striker Ole Watkins, and of course goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale to his squad for the World Cup qualifiers against Andorra and Hungary. Well, our fears finally coming to fruition.
Just what we're thinking. Okay, maybe Tomori could eventually switch a little. But look, I think they have pitched their tent. They have chosen the bed to sleep in. We wish them good luck in their international.
I hope it does not appear.
Fikayo Tomori and Tammy Abraham, let them just go. But.
On the long term, I'm not just really good now. On the long term, you got to fear for their careers because you know how it is.
Yeah, but I think they feel okay, and this is best for them. And the moment England came knocking, they just decided, okay, this is going to be mine. Maybe for Fikayo Tomori, I will feel a bit more sympathetic, but for Tammy Abraham, no, because of the way he rejected. I'm not saying you cannot say no to Nigeria.
It was a bit embarrassing for us.
Yes,
really.
After having met with the president of the Nigerian Football Federation, after maybe giving the green light that okay, this will work, but the moment Amadou Pinnick came out to announce to the world that Tammy Abraham was going to play for Nigeria, he just came out vehemently to deny it, and he said he's available for England and everything. And then eventually, Gary Southgate decided to give him a call up, and he grabbed it with both hands. And Gary Southgate himself said, "Look, these guys are English. They are here. They grew up in our system and everything. So I don't even see any reason why I should not." But the man is right. He's right. For God's sake, it's just that we here sometimes you like reminding somebody where he came from. Somebody a family could have been living in your community even before your grandfather was born. So all that person's ancestors, well, most of his ancestors were born. Maybe his great-grandfather, his grandfather, his father, and then himself. But you are telling that offspring of these people, these four generations that have lived in your community,
he's
not he's not an indigent. Yeah. He's a settler. He's a stranger in your midst, and all of that. So that's one thing we really need to get right in this country. But over there, there are people from Jamaica. Yeah. There are people from Raheem Sterling. Is it not from Jamaica originally?
Even Mikel Antonio.
So many people like that who just come in. But the moment you are born there, the moment you settle there, they just take you as part of them. And that's what they are saying. That look, these guys have been part of the England youth setup. It's basically us. It's our system that they know. This is where they grew up in. So even if their parents are from Nigeria, it doesn't mean that they are not English. They are English because they were born here. So if the coach decides to invite them, nobody should complain. If they on their own now decide later, like Alex Iwobi, who eventually chose to play for Nigeria, then that's fine. Victor Moses, the same thing. That's fine. Well, Victor Moses was actually born here, but went there when he was very young. But it's still the same. So if these guys, they decide to play for England, good luck to them. Let them go. I think we've got more than enough players, but it's just because of what we have seen in the past, what has happened, how many people have actually done that, and it has
so they
worked out for them. Yeah, many end up regretting it, and that's why it's good to think long and hard about
it. It doesn't bother me. You know why? If Tammy Abraham should join the Super Eagles today, he would not be the first choice. Honestly, he's not as good as
he has quality to the team.
You can say that, but we've got Three Deserts, who is also doing well right now since he left Genk for Feyenoord. We've got guys who are just scoring the same number of goals that Tammy also scores. So it's not that if Tammy comes in, Tammy will be the number one. No. So even for Fikayo Tomori, we've got also defenders. He's not just going to come into the Super Eagles and take a permanent shirt. So he's also going to fight for share. We've also got it fair. So for me, I think it's good. We wish them all the best, but then I think we should make do with what we have and also ensure that whoever is coming to Nigeria is coming willingly, not after being rejected.
Nobody is saying that the reason why we're even discussing this was because of what Jose Mourinho said. Because he said he's creating a beast. He's turning Tammy Abraham into a beast. And if Gary Southgate doesn't invite him in future, he will advise him. He will talk to him about switching allegiance. He didn't mention Nigeria, but many Nigerians were like, "Oh, is it after he has rejected us? Now that England no longer invites him, that they are thinking of him now coming back?" And we looked at the situation and we're thinking, can he even play for Nigeria? Is it even possible for him to switch allegiance back to Nigeria? So we're looking at that, and we mentioned Fikayo Tomori. I think Fikayo Tomori has even played less times for England than he did. So is it possible for them to switch allegiance back to Nigeria? And now Fikayo Tomori suddenly was invited. It's like
even if he ends up playing for England in these 2 matches against Andorra and Hungary, he's still eligible to play for Nigeria.
Well, for me, if you have been invited for England,
if he plays, I don't think he'll be eligible because he's already 23.
There is no point. There is no point. Let them just play. Let them go ahead and play for England. No problem.
They've made their meal, so let them enjoy it.
We've got more than enough players to do what we want, so they should go.
Well, Manchester City midfielder Phil Foden also returns to the England squad after a foot injury. Defender Harry Maguire and of course right back Trent Alexander-Arnold are out injured. England will travel to Andorra on Saturday, October 9th, and then host Hungary on Tuesday, October 12th. The 3 Lions are top of Group I, heading into the penultimate international camp of the year with 16 points from 6 games. So you really expect England to win at least one of these fixtures. Well, the Hungarian match may be a bit tougher for them compared to the Andorra fixture. All right, let's move away from the England Cup. Let's talk about Brazil legend Pelé. He has been released from hospital after undergoing surgery for a colon tumor. The 80-year-old had operation at the Albert Einstein Hospital in Sao Paulo on the 4th of September, and we are getting news now that the 3 times World Cup winner has, of course, left hospital after undergoing surgery for a colon tumor. Moving on, Daniel Sturridge signed for A-League team Perth Glory. The club announced this one yesterday. His football surgeon has taken him to Australia. It's been a topsy-turvy career for Daniel Sturridge. I don't know. This guy used to be a fine player. I don't know if he's still. I remember his time at Chelsea, though he wasn't a prominent figure at Chelsea. I remember his time at Liverpool. Was a prominent player at Liverpool until he fizzled out, maybe because of injury here and there. And the Turkish surgeon did not help his career in any way. It was there he was found guilty, I think, of match fixing, if I'm correct. And he was banned for a few months, and that's just somehow set his career backwards.
But
it's back.
I think
was it match
fixing? Has to do with betting or something.
Okay, I think it was betting or so, relating to betting, something like that. But then he's back to reckoning with A-League team, talking about Perth Glory.
Yeah, it's good for him. Sometimes you have to take your football to a different league. Sometimes it's all the club wants is to use your profile to boost that club and all that. So looking at Daniel Sturridge, I haven't played in the English Premier League, now playing for the A-League. I think his experience is what they want, and just to boost the profile of that club. Not that really has so much, and you cannot compare the league to what we are having around the English Premier League. So I think sometimes they play for the money, sometimes they just want to use it to boost the profile of the club for maybe for 6 months, a year, then move for that club, or sometimes to revive their careers. So I wish him all the best.
He was banned for breaking betting rules.
Yeah, okay. So he has not played, in fact, he's not competed in a professional match since 2020. Mid-injury concerns and, like you rightly said, betting.
I know this guy, he has won the Champions League twice.
Yes.
Even though he was
at Chelsea,
prominent. Yeah, he won it
did
at Chelsea in and I won it with Liverpool in 2019 now.
Yeah, I think 2018.
No, it wasn't Real Madrid that won in 2018. I think it was 2019 Liverpool, 2020 Bayern,
2018-2019 season.
Yeah, so it's 2019. In the year 2019 that Liverpool won that Champions League title. So he's somebody that I think at Chelsea he had some issues, and that was mainly that he wanted to play as the striker, as the number 9, but they were always playing him from the wings. Even his father at one point complained that they should give him that opportunity to play as the points man. and then at Liverpool he got that opportunity on some occasions, and he did well. He's that kind of player that you feel never really played to his full potential. He was very good. He was very good. I've seen some goals that he scored that he absolutely obliterated the entire defense of the opposing team. But the problem was that at Manchester City and at Chelsea, he didn't do it consistently enough. But at Liverpool, I thought he did until injuries started taking a toll on him. Is that kind of player with this African flair that you don't know which way he will go. He's
not a typical English player because with his flamboyancy, you just think like
we have typical English players anymore. I don't think that was you'll be analyzing 70s, 80s football. Well, maybe 90s even, but from the 2000s, I think English football has evolved to the point that you have flair. Joe Cole was a flair player. Steven Gerrard, his all-action style that wasn't typical
English.
Frank Lampard, Rio Ferdinand was a ball-playing centre-back. So I think it's disrespectful to look at English football and just tag them with that the old kick and follow kind of football that we know. I think their football has evolved significantly over the years. So far, Daniel Sturridge, well, it's I think it's just 30 now, and he's going to play in
A-League in Australia. Not bad. He could still find himself back to
when you have Cristiano Ronaldo at 36, going 37, playing in the English Premier League. Lionel Messi is still playing in one of the top 5 leagues. Well, if you we still accept the French league as one of the top 5. And Robert Lewandowski at 33 still lighting up the Champions League and the German Bundesliga. So you feel that for someone like Daniel Sturridge should perhaps be playing, even if you feel even playing the Championship would be better than going to the A-League.
Yeah, but it also depends on the offers that's on the table for him and then how reasonable they are. All right, this is Sports Fiesta here on K92.7 FM. I am CJ, the maestro. I've got Salih Ibrahim, the sports Ibrahim, and Eosa Ibeka, the sports maestro. Let's talk about the results of the Europa League matches for yesterday night, as well as that of the Europa Conference League, the newly introduced competition from UEFA. Okay, Eosa, let's first look at the Europa League, starting from Group A.
Well, so many matches were played yesterday in the Europa League. We're trying to get
Lyon took on Brøndby, and Lyon won that encounter 3-0. Sparta Prague beat Rangers 1-0. Rangers, of course, Nigerian interest there. And we also had Real Sociedad beat Monaco. They played out a 1-1 draw. Sturm Graz lost 4-1 at home to PSV Eindhoven, while Legia Warsaw defeated Leicester City 1-0. Sad for our boys there, but Woodford out injured. Kelechi Iheanacho, not exactly happening for him. Another loss for a team with Nigerian interest too. This time they even lost at home. Napoli, they were beaten 3-2 by Spartak Moscow, and I'm a bit disappointed. Yeah, I'm happy that Victor Osimhen is scoring. He even came in as a substitute.
Got a consolation goal for them.
Yeah, but they lost. So the reason why I'm disappointed with the way Napoli are playing in the Europa League is that they were supposed to, if not for just some issues that happened towards the end of the season, where Juventus eventually overtook them, they were even supposed to be playing in the Champions League. And I recall one Nigerian celebrity, I can't recall who exactly, but it was a lady. She was saying, Cristiano Ronaldo, I want you to play in the UEFA Champions League next season. So I want you, but that was just, I think we had about 3 matches left at that point. And Victor Osimhen said, sister, your brother too won't play for Champions League now. So because Napoli and Juventus were the ones.
Yeah, it was like a tightrope sort of for them.
Yeah, for that spot. So I'm disappointed that now that they are even playing the Europa League, they're not taking it. I don't know whether they're not taking it seriously. The last game, it was a 2-2 draw against Leicester. They even came from 2 goals. Victor Osimhen getting the goal. So Victor Osimhen is in fantastic scoring form. I think 7 matches consecutively now. He has no, that's 7 goals in his last couple of matches that he's got. I think 5 matches he scored 7 goals. That's really wonderful from him. I hope he keeps that form when he comes to play for Nigeria. Fenerbahce were beaten 3-0 at home by Olympiacos. Royal Antwerp, they lost 1-0 at home to Eintracht Frankfurt, while Lazio defeated Lokomotiv Moscow 2-0, and Olympic Marseille and Galatasaray played out a goalless draw. Ludogorets Razgrad 0, Red Star Belgrade 1, while SC Braga beat FC Midtjylland 3-1. Celtic, I don't understand what's happening to them this season. They were beaten 4-0 at home by Bayer Leverkusen, while Ferencváros were beaten 3-1 at home by Real Betis. Also in the Europa League, Genk lost 3-0 at home to Dinamo Zagreb, while West Ham United beat Rapid Vienna 2-0. So these are some of the matches that we saw in the UEFA Europa League. For Nigerians, it was disappointing. Also for Genk, Paul Onuachu losing at home. So
okay. For the Europa Conference League, let's start from Group A. FC Alaskat lost to HJK Helsinki 4-2, while Lask Linz played the 1-1 with Maccabi Tel Aviv. And then for Group B, Ghent beat Anorthosis 2-0. Partizan Belgrade also beat Flora Tallinn 2-0. That's for Group B. For Group C, PFC CSK Sofia played out a 0-0 draw with Bodo Glimt. Zoria 0, AS Roma 3. Of course, Roma back to winning ways. In Group D, AZ Akma 1, Jablonek 0. For CFR Cluj Napoca, they played the 1-1 draw with Randers FC. That's for Group D. For Group E, Feyenoord pipped Slavia Prague 2-1. Union Berlin trashed Maccabi Haifa 3-0. For Group F, FC in Copenhagen beat Lincoln Red Imps FC 3-1. That's Copenhagen 3, Lincoln Red Imps 1. For PAOK FC, they played a draw. That's a 1-1 draw with Slovan Bratislava. That's for Group G. Let's also talk about that. Tottenham Hotspur hammered Mora 5-1. Hurricane got a hat-trick in this game. In fact, he scored a 20-minute hat-trick after coming out from the bench to help his team out. He was able to get 3 goals in 20 minutes. And we can tell you...
Maybe he's finally decided
to play for Tottenham, right?
He's staying at Tottenham.
Okay. Because some people say...
but I think he scored, was it a brace last time they played in the Conference League?
Yeah.
So it seems he loves the Conference League, but
in England, it's not...
on the English Premier League.
Well, we hope it's not the case anyway. Vitesse lost at home to Rennes 2-1 for Basel. That's for Group H. We can tell you that Basel beat Kairat Almaty 4-2, while for Omonia Nicosia, they lost at home to Karabakh FK 4-1. For the only international friendly match that happened yesterday, Egypt beat Liberia 2-0. This Friday. There will be Friday night football in the La Liga Santander. Athletic Bilbao will play against Deportivo Alaves. For the Italian Serie A, Cagliari will host Venezia. For the Bundesliga, FC Cologne versus Greuther Fürth, while in the League O, Lens versus Reims. All right, so these are the fixtures for Friday night football. There's Thursday night football, so anyhow you want to put it, you're not actually wrong.
Not Thursday night football.
Okay.
Thursday football.
All right, okay, so that's of course what we have for you right now. Let's go see. We have messages to take before we take the transfer rumors.
So many messages. Let's see. This one says, good day. The list of Chelsea absentee for today's match. Thanks, Usman from Jerry. I don't understand what you mean by the list of Chelsea absentee. Okay. This one says, I'm so impressed with the players in this Betsy Obaseki. Okay.
Looks like the same guy yesterday.
Peter from Isio. It is Betsy Obaseki Women's Football Tournament. I'm not going to mention what he said yet. I don't know what you've been listening to. It is Betsy Obaseki, is the wife of the wife of the governor of Edo State, the first lady of Edo State. So it is Betsy Obaseki Women's Football Tournament. I saw an impressive winger from Rivers today. A guy with the number 7 jersey was impressive. I've been enjoying myself here at the sports complex since 10 a.m. Just to inform you. Okay, Peter from Monsieur. At the time you sent this, maybe it was. I'm sure this match had not ended. It said Bayelsa Queens 2, Sunshine Queens 0. It actually ended Bayelsa Queens 3, Sunshine Queens 0. This one says, "Good day, guys. Please, I want to know if the last match at the Universe Sports Complex is still being played, because I wanted to go." Okay, this matches came in last night or just after we left the studio yesterday. I wanted to go to a world map, but there was heavy downpour at Ugbowo, a match which started since around 3:45. Brian, please update me. I'm the king of the boxing ring. Israel from Wasota. Israel, sorry, we are just saying this, but that match ended. I'm sure as at the time you were saying the match ended. Okay, I hope we qualify for the World Cup in Qatar. Ross should pick the right players and formation, because I think it's not really helping the players. Gift texting from Xavier Road. All right, thank you, Gift. Good day, the three wise men of sports. I want you guys to update me about Chukwueze, Mr. Titus from Jari.
Chukwueze is back to training.
Yeah, but he.
I don't think he's going to feature now.
Yeah. Robert will deserve the player of the year. I think you mean Robert Lewandowski. Congrats to my team, Man United, and thanks to Ronaldo for the late goals. He's from Sapele Road. Good day, men of sports. Please, what is the scores between Edo Queens and Heartlands? Emoji from Urura. Edo Queens won 5-0. Good morning, sports men. For the first time, I actually saw Mr. Ibrahim yesterday. Okay, Edo Queens were awesome. These girls are good enough to play anywhere in the world. I think Super Falcons scouts should be available in games like this. Endurance texting from Uniben. Happy Independence Day. Endurance. Okay. Maybe not. This must be a different endurance. Because
looks like we'll have to take the rest later on.
Okay.
Because of the want of time. All right, today is even Independence Day. Must say Happy Independence Day, Nigeria, and also Happy New Month to the KU family. Well, thank you for always being there for us. Nigeria is 61 now. We've come of age, so we should, of course, behave like people who are 61. Before we go, let's take the final whistle.
It's just a matter of time until we hear that Koeman has been sacked. There was a meeting between the decision makers, including President Joao Laporta, after their flight landed back in Barcelona from Lisbon. They went to the training ground, which is not far from the airport, and they are putting a plan together. Timing is of the essence, not only to get rid of Koeman, but also to get a plan in place. Spanish football expert Guillem Balagi says Barcelona has set to sack manager Ronald Koeman, and it could even happen before the next play Atletico Madrid. And that's the final whistle on Sports Fiesta this morning.
All right, so that's the much you can take coming from the Friday morning edition of Sports Fiesta here on K92.7 FM. Hopefully, we'll be back here by 4 p.m. for another time on Sports Fiesta. Thank you, Saliu, and of course, Seosa Ibeka for your time on the show. For those who sent in their messages, thank you for also being a part of our world this Friday morning. Until 4 p.m., I remain CJ, the Maestro, signing out.